Gregor Forrester, Lord of Ironrath. Ironrath. Lord Forrester is lord of a strong northern house and a bannerman of House Stark. As a youth, he famously arm-wrestled Galbert Glover for the privilege of becoming the man's squire. Glover later joked that he'd gladly lose the match all over again. Gregor married Elissa Brandfield, the daughter of Southern Targaryen loyalists, before Robert Baratheon seized the Iron Throne. Gregor ascended to the lordship after his father died at the Trident, and has led House Forrester during the 16 years since. Lady Elissa Forrester, Lord Forrester's wife. Elissa Forrester was born to House Brainfield, a minor southern house that was destroyed when the Targaryen dynasty fell. She had been married to Gregor for many years when Robert's rebellion signaled her family's demise, yet she nonetheless felt conflicted between her father's loyalties and her husband's. In time, Elissa came to feel that Ironrath was her true home, and she embraced her role as the Forrester matriarch. She has silently sworn that she'll never see her family destroyed again. Roderick, firstborn son. Lord Forrester's eldest son, Roderick, was trained from an early age to shoulder the burdens of leadership. In truth, he was built for the role, strong, charismatic, and formidable on the battlefield. When Robb Stark called his banners to war, Lord Forrester asked Roderick to stay behind and protect Ironrath, but Roderick wouldn't have none of it. Instead, he strode off at his father's side and led the Forrester cavalry with such valor that his name came to be feared amongst the ranks of Lannister soldiers. Asher Forrester, exiled second son. Asher had always been a rebellious youth, brawling in taverns, sleeping with whores, and finding ways to raise his father's ire. But his life took a dark turn when at age 17, he fell in love with Gwyn Whitehill, the eldest daughter of his father's bitter rival. Oh, snap! Bloodshed ensued, and Lord Forrester faced a grim choice: go to war or exile Asher across the Narrow Sea. He chose the latter. Asher remains in Essos to this day, living as a sellsword, trying not to think about the life he left behind. Mira, eldest daughter. Mira had always been fond of Ironrath, but Lady Forrester, wanting her eldest daughter to learn the ways of the southern court, arranged for Mira to serve as a handmaid to Marjorie Tyrell. Oh! To Mira's great surprise, she enjoyed attending on Marjorie at Highgarden, and followed her to King's Landing with enthusiasm. Life in the capital has not always been easy for Mira, as her straightforward northern ways are often at odds with the subtleties of court life, but she also has more guile than she realizes. Ethan Forrester, third-born son. Whereas his elder brothers were natural warriors, Ethan always felt himself drawn to the pursuits of the mind, particularly music and books. He also bore a great love for the towering trees of Ironrath, a love he still shares with his twin sister Talia. Ethan was just a boy when House Forrester joined the War of the Five Kings, but by war's end he had been thrust into a role he was unprepared for. On cool autumn evenings, Ethan can still be heard playing his lute in the Ironwood Grove. I like him. He plays music. That's what I am. Talia, during her fourth pregnancy, Lady Forrester dreamed she would birth a daughter with a voice like the summer rain. But as fate would have it, she gave birth to a boy. The infant Ethan wailed for hours until Lady Forrester entered a second labor, this time birthing a girl. She named the girl Talia after her own mother, and from then on, Ethan hardly ever cried. Her dream came true, for there's no sound at Ironrath more lovely than that of Talia singing as her brother plays the lute. The musician twins. I wish I had a twin that was a musician. That'd be awesome. Rion, fourth-born son. The last of the Forrester children, Rion grew up idolizing his elder siblings and spent many an hour chasing Ethan and Talia through the grove. His youth has been pleasant and shielded from responsibility, but recently Rion's innocence has begun to fade. When the war began, Rion, I don't know how to pronounce his name, Ruan, I have no idea, was too young to understand why Roderick and his father were leaving home. But the grim realities of a house at war has been impossible to avoid, and Rion now asks questions for which his siblings have no easy answers. Garrod Tuttle, that's me. Squire to Lord Forrester. Gerald was raised on stories of heroism about the likes of Arthur Dane and Simon Stareyes. Simon Star Eyes. That seems like a cool name. Though the son of a pig farmer, he has always aspired to one day become a warrior himself, with the help of his uncle Duncan. Duncan! I gotta find Duncan! Okay. Who had risen from the lowborn origins to become Castellan of Ironrath. Garrett found work in Lord Forrester's stables, rising through the ranks to eventually be named his squire. Garrett has served Lord Forrester throughout the long months in King Rob's army and is ready to be a warrior in his own right. Duncan Duddle, Castellan of Ironrath. As a boy, Duncan showed such talents for managing his family's farm that everyone assumed he'd one day take over. But Duncan was fated to run more than fields in a pig pen. In time, he struck up an unlikely friendship with Gregor Forrester, the heir to House Forrester. The two grew close, and when Gregor became lord, he named Duncan his Castellan. Many eyebrows were raised, but Duncan proved himself worthy and has served the house well in the long years since. Okay, so that's Duncan. That's my uncle. That's the guy I gotta talk to about the North Grove. Whoa. Sir Royland de Gore. Royland de Gore joined Lord Forrester's army after his family was wiped out by Ironborn during Balon Greyjoy's rebellion. De Gore had a natural grasp of military tactics and strategy, and came to play a crucial role in the siege of Pike that ended the war. In the months that followed, King Robert awarded Royland a knighthood, and Lord Forrester asked him to serve as Ironrath's Master-at-Arms. Sir Royland still holds a position and is known for his military expertise, as well as his legendary temper. He looks like he'd have a guy who has a temper. Maester Ortengrin. Originating from a minor house in the Vale. Oh, the Vale. Meister Ortegan studied at the Citadel in the hope of being assigned to the Eyrie. But by the time he'd earned enough links on his chain to graduate from Acolyte, John Arryn had been murdered and the South was in turmoil. The Citadel ultimately assigned Maester Ortegan to Ironrath, where he soon came to respect the Forrester family's honor and integrity. He now serves the Forresters with pride and has become a trusted advisor to the Lord. Malcolm Brainfield. Oh, Lady Forrester's brother. She has a brother? As a young man, Malcolm was the black sheep of the Brainfield family. He liked to roam the countryside in the style of a hedge knight, refusing his father's orders of marriage and lands. Malcolm fought bravely alongside his brothers when House Brainfield fell, yet he and his sister were the only two survivors. Malcolm now lives with Lady Ilyssa's new family at Ironrath, though he still tends to disappear for weeks at a stretch. Malcolm has fathered no children, thus he is the last of the Brainfield line. Wow. Ironrath, ancient seat of House Forrester. An imposing stronghold surrounded by towering ironwood trees. Green trees, yes, I like that. Ironrath marks the ancestral home of House Forrester. Built over 1,500 years ago by Cedric Forrester and his triplet sons, Ironrath is a testament to the strength and endurance of Ironwood itself. More than one visitor has called Ironrath the most striking keep in the north. Even Ned Stark was said to be envious. Ironrath sits on the edge of the largest ironwood forest in Westeros, which has proven to be a strategic advantage for the house. I've learned a lot.
You seem to be favoring it. Always sad to see a warrior lose a leg.
I'm fine, Maester Ortengrin. Look, I'll show you.
Is that grain? Ugh. Do I want to touch the maggots? Healing herbs.
This might help.
Yeah, come in useful one day, I guess. Talk to the Maester when you're finished exploring. Yep, that's not yet. Do I want to touch?
Rather cute little creatures, aren't they?
I guess.
I would not do that.
I may be mistaken. You do seem able to put weight on it.
Yep. Look at that fire! Look at that fire effect. That looks so cool. Can I go back here? Doesn't look like it. Alright. Look at. First, look at him. I have to go on the other side of the table and look at him.
Keep moving. I need to see you walk.
Okay. That's what he said. I'm just like...
No, you see there? You're limping again.
I'm fine, really.
I don't think I'm gonna show the sword to him, because I don't need to.
Does your leg feel weak?
No. I just wanted to ask you. Why do the Whitehills hate the Forresters?
I think it's safe to say the feeling is mutual. There's been enmity between the two houses for as long as anyone can remember. I don't doubt someone killed someone, which led to more killings of someones, and then, well, here we are.
The Whitehills want Forrester Ironwood.
Ah, they'd take it all if we'd let them, especially now with the Boltons in power, and proceed to clear-cut every last inch of it until there's nothing left, just as they've done before.
Who is the new lord of House Forrester?
Why, Ethan, of course.
Even I would have known that, but
At the Citadel,
more dialogue.
I swore an oath to serve whichever noble house I was assigned. Advising the late Lord Forrester was an honor. Advising Ethan, his third-born son, is challenging. There's still so much he has to learn, yet the very fate and future of this house rests in his hands.
Yikes. No pressure.
Which is rather frightening when you think about it.
What will happen to me now?
Excellent question. Under normal circumstances, you could join Sir Royland and his men. Although, given the circumstances of your... circumstances, it becomes a bit tricky, doesn't it? I suppose it will be for Lord Ethan to decide.
Lord Forrester promoted me. At the Twins, I'm no longer a squire, if that matters.
It might, I suppose. But I'll defer to Lord Ethan on this.
Can I see Ethan? Is he here?
He is, but I'm afraid he's indisposed at the moment. He prefers not to be disturbed while practicing his lute.
Good boy.
Can I go now?
I believe your leg will be fine. Only time will tell, but... Lady Forrester.
Welcome home, Garrett. We're all relieved to know you survived.
Thank you, my lady.
Talia asked to see you.
Garrett, I heard what happened. Is it true? Your family... I'm so sorry.
Me too.
Off to bed now. Hurry on. Garrett was just telling me how valiantly Lord Forrester fought to the end, even when all was lost. I'm sure Lady Forrester would like to know. Whatever you can recall.
He loved his family, my lady. He was very proud of Roderick.
Yet he was unable to save him.
You were with Roderick, no? I'm sure it was chaos and confusion. But if you can remember anything, I'm sure Lady Forrester would like to know.
He fought valiantly, my lady.
Of course he did. He was House Forrester's best.
This has been so incredibly difficult for us, especially the children. But I was told you were the last to see my husband alive.
Yes, my lady.
I know it may be difficult to remember, but if I may ask, was there anything he said?
Any last words before he passed? If you can remember. It would mean so much to the family.
He asked me to return this to House Forrester. He said this is where it belongs. With his family.
Thank you, Garrett.
Of course, my lady.
It demands a
I
response.
avoided the question.
It's too dangerous, especially now. Now is the time to prove our strength.
I'll be sure it's given to Ethan.
Against aggression. Duncan, this was our land. They were our people. Your family.
I share your outrage, Sir Royland. I do. But now is not the time to provoke the Whitehills. Not with Ramsay Snow coming to see us bend the knee.
The hell with Ramsay Snow, the bastard.
Garrett, you understand what this means. You killed a Bolton, and Ramsay Snow will want his retribution.
We're the ones that should be demanding retribution. This happened on Forrester land.
They attacked me!
And they'll say they were keeping the peace in the name of House Bolton. It's an argument you cannot win. We have to be smart. Ramsay Snow will be here within the week.
And what would you have us do? Nothing.
I would have us use our heads, while they're still attached to our shoulders.
That'd
Garrett
be a
has lost
smart
as much
idea.
as anyone else within these walls. Maybe you can talk some sense into your uncle.
Garrett's suffered enough already. You ask too much of the boy.
He deserves to be heard. It was his family they killed.
My uncle's right. We need to be smart.
Smart. Eddard Stark was smart. And look where that got him. So,
That is true.
what's to be done?
Ultimately, it will be for Lord Ethan to decide.
He's just a boy who can barely hold a sword. He knows nothing of how to lead men.
He is the lord of this house, and he needs our help. It's bad enough the Boltons would have us bend the knee and swear fealty. But now, this will accuse you of murder, and us of protecting you.
The boy was just defending himself.
I'm not faulting him for what he did.
I'd have done the same, as any man would.
It wasn't murder. It was justice.
Not in their eyes. It's just the excuse Ramsay Snow would need to put us to the torch and kill us all.
I'd like to see them try.
I'm afraid it's a risk we cannot take, which is why you cannot stay.
Cannot stay. Duncan, the boy has suffered enough.
But where would I go?
The one place beyond the reach of even House Bolton.
You're sending him to the wall. The boy's done nothing wrong.
Not in the eyes of the Boltons. I'm afraid it's the only solution. Especially now, when the house is so vulnerable.
I'll do what's best for the house. So I'll go. I'm not afraid.
I know it doesn't seem fair, but it is what's best.
Remember my bravery. I still need to tell him.
That settles
though.
it then.
I still need to tell him about the North Grove. Okay.
You can have my horse, and I'll see you have plenty of food. But we haven't much time. The Whitehills will come looking for you.
I need to tell you about the North Grove. Uncle! Uncle! He vanished! Under thin air!
Were it up to me, I'd gladly drive a sword through Lord Whitehill's heart if given the chance. I would. And God's willing, someday I will. But for now, I have House Forrester to consider first. Lord Forrester would be proud that you're putting the interests of the house ahead of your own. Many of Lord Forrester's best men have volunteered for the war. His own great-uncle was a ranger with the Night's Watch.
I'll do what's best.
Which often isn't what's easiest, but necessary nonetheless.
I've been waiting for the right moment to tell
There
you.
we go.
What? What is it?
Lord Forrester asked me to give you a message. He said, the North Grove can never be lost.
Sorry. You caught me by surprise.
I did it!
It's not often discussed, if ever.
I did it!
Where is the North Grove?
That I cannot say. Not yet, at least. Most don't even know it exists. They think it's just a myth made up by wildlings and fools, and it's better kept that way. You haven't told anyone else, have you? This is important, Garrett. I need to know the truth.
Of course not. I told no one.
Well done. Lord Forrester was right to put his trust in you. From this day forward, this will be our secret. But soon, I may need your help.
But
I can't say anything more just yet. Just know the North Grove may very well be vital to the future of this house. But don't breathe a word of it to anyone at the wall.
I won't.
Become a ranger if you can. It will help.
The horsey.
Iron from ice.
Iron from ice.
Remember, you represent House Forrester. Your actions at the wall will reflect the honor and dignity of the house.
I'll be strong.
I know you will.
I'll try to be. As the player, I will try to be strong as well.
Garrett, wait! Be safe.
Wow, that's a pretty background. Sunset going.